Welcome to S Rank, the podcast now wearing size 6 shoes. On this show, we rank random things on an S through F tier list, but we don't know what's coming next, and we only get one swap. This is the most dangerous game. I'm Devin. With me here to create this list is Ethan.
And I'm coming back through popular demand. I know last week, last episode, whenever this goes live, we did a lot of fall and winter stuff, and I set out the gate. I hate all of this. So I'm excited here to do stuff that's going to be cool to me. I'm excited to learn what random Nazi we might end up with. To have at the F rank spot. I'm excited to see what sitcom person will put in a middling thing, and what food item that we're gonna put in S rank. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, that seems to be the pattern. But you never know. We're only now 6 episodes in to this, and we've seen some patterns, but things can change. That could maybe just be all random. Maybe there will be a straightforward linear thing from here on out. We don't know. But as we said, this is the most dangerous game. We can, after we rank everything here, we can lose the game. We kind of come to a general consensus if we felt like we've won. Sometimes we don't get perfect boards, but we'll be like, hey, I think we did pretty decent with what we were given. Sometimes we're like, man, we really messed up somewhere at some point. And there's consequences to that, so we want to make sure we avoid losing.
Yes.
But we have 7 things here, 7 generators that we'll go through twice to hit our 14 spots. We have 1 S spot. We have 3 C spots. So I'm ready to begin. Are we? I mean, we've been doing this now. I think we're good.
Yeah. I think we've got it dialed in. The pilot season is over, and now we're in prime time. We got that 8 o'clock prime spot on the East Coast, which is the only coast that matters. And I'm good. Let's begin.
Yeah, welcome to ABC's S Rank the podcast. Yes. We just need a little bit better production. I was hoping they would send us that, but I was hoping for the sets and then the girls to come out with holding the prizes you're gonna win, and the audience, the audience that waits outside,
the giant spinning platform with the car sitting on it.
Maybe 3 contestants, perhaps, and
Bob Barker back from the dead to host whatever.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Cool. We could get him with our first thing here, which is random people. We have James Patterson here, who I had to look up. I'm not gonna lie, someone saw that and got excited. Right? I didn't know who that is. Yes, an author.
Famous author, wrote a million books. A lot of them are corny, but he writes for all ages. Lots of thrillers, Well,
that's good. That's good.
Like a less offensive Tom Clancy. A less xenophobic Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy's The Division, too.
I have that on PS4, and so do you. And we never played it.
Yeah, we both installed it, and then we didn't play it for some reason.
It was my birthday. It was my birthday, and we're like, let's play it. And then I never had it installed, even though I told it to install. And so that's why we never played it. And it was like 120 gigabytes. So it's like, I'd rather do something else on my birthday. Sorry, Devin. But I'm excited to see. Maybe this will be really funny, and Tom Clancy will pop up there in the corner.
That will be really funny. I hope that happens now. If we're trying to clickbait here. Let's go. We'll see what we get. We got Helen Keller.
Great.
Which I don't know how to. I mean, we keep doing this where we put them at C. But I don't know if we're like, can we put them at C? Is that rude? I just kind of I know her story, but
I don't. I know she's like blind and deaf or something.
Well, that's I think most of her I don't know if she's written books or I just remember her. She was famous for kind of bringing that to light. You know what I mean? The disabilities, but yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
Jeez, I mean, bring light to disabilities. Was she an activist or
That's what I thought she was, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong now. Maybe I'm just making that up.
This is really mean, but all I ever know about her is as a punching bag in jokes of you can't see or hear. You know what I mean? That's all I ever hear. So no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, She's
I don't even
probably
know
a
what
nice
era. Like,
lady.
I don't even really. I mean, the photo's in black and white, which doesn't mean it could just be in black and white. But I don't know if that mean like was she around in the 40s? Like, I don't even know what like era of history she was in. I'm assuming before our time for sure. Like, I don't think she was ever alive when we've been alive. But like, is she
She
like?
she was born in 1880 and died in
Oh,
1968. So
yeah. Okay,
she
she's
was
long
an
gone.
American author and a disability rights advocate, political
Okay, I wasn't
activist,
making that up.
and
Okay, thank.
lecturer.
I
This
wasn't
is
making
this
that
is
up.
according to
Okay.
our Wikipedia page.
That felt
She
right when I was saying it, but then I was starting to gaslight myself into thinking that I just bullshitted that. I guess I'm glad I'd be vindicated.
she's entombed in the Washington National Cathedral, which I assume is
Oh,
a mausoleum and not
and then maybe in the
yeah.
is she in DC then
She wrote a
something.
book, her most notable work, 1903, The Story of My Life, which
Guess
I,
we should read that. I guess I would have more context. Like we said, I
and
feel like I know a good chunk about her life just based off of the headlines, but I'm
yeah,
sure it's interesting nonetheless.
sorry, Helen, but you made a huge mistake and had Wikipedia upload a vector file of your signature. So I'm gonna pose as you now. This is a high resolution thing. You can't see it on screen, but go look at her Wikipedia page. You see her signature, which is someone who cannot see having to write their
Well, to be
name.
fair,
Very,
did
very
they
particular.
did someone have to make it because it was probably written in 58 or
Well, I'm
whatever?
sure it was recreated based off it. Anyway, her being in, she's done stuff, which is almost sadder because you never hear about that. You just hear she
The
cannot see,
punchlines
she cannot
from
hear. You know what I
people
mean?
use it as an insult, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of her activism. You know what I mean? To be like, hey, be aware of folks who are can't see as well, and can't hear as well. Um, so
But all that being
I don't.
said, I feel like C is still as high as I'd be willing to go. Like,
I'm okay putting her at C. I just feel like we always default to that. So I was just like, is it like a B because she's done some good things, but at the same time, like
but I asked, hey, I
I
don't want
had
to
to
put her
get. I
down a
kind of. I
D.
wasn't guessing, but I was going off of very kind of limited memory of what she did. I'm just glad that like I said, you pulling it up actually made me feel better that I because I was gonna beat myself up if I just made all those things up in my head.
Yeah,
But
she fought in World War II, and
yeah,
well, yeah, I don't know, other great
let's put her
things.
at C. Maybe depending on this list goes, and we're like, you know what, she
Okay,
is better than all those things. We can move her up. We have a swap.
she did not fight in
Um,
World War II. I was starting a joke, and then I didn't
not many women
pronunciate
did.
it. You know
At
what I
least not on
mean,
the
as a
American
joke.
side. So, all right. Random object generator. As you see here, it says lunchbox. That'd be a good one. But let's see what we get. Hand warmer. We just did our winter episode, kind of, so
Yeah,
before winter, but to build up to winter. If this was on the winter list, this would be, I would say, up there because especially when it gets really, really, really cold. But I will say, I don't know how many people have used hand warmers. Have you used a hand warmer before?
what is a hand warmer?
I'll take that as you haven't used one. But
Because honest to God, I'm thinking of just gloves with maybe a chemically reactive packet you slide in the
yeah,
back.
that's what I'm thinking of. Is the specifically the chemical thing. Usually it's like in a pouch and you have to shake it, which I think
Or
genius
crack
by the
or
way.
something.
Yeah,
You get
genius
the
by the way
reaction.
because you're already moving to shake it, which causes your body to warm
Sure.
up and
I
then
mean,
it gives you the warmth. But I'll say I did a lot of I was in the Boy Scouts. I hated winter camping though. But I was kind of at least one per season I was required to go to, and I always would try
hmm,
to do the earliest as possible before it got really cold. Because my first ever Boy Scout winter camping trip was in a place called Babcock Covey. I think that's how you say it. It's been a minute since I've said it out loud. But it's in like the Adirondacks, and we got hit. We were sleeping in lean-tos, which are basically cabins without fronts. Uh, and since this was our first, my first trip, no one told me I needed to bring a tarp to put in front of the lean-to,
oh
especially during the winter.
no.
But we also got hit with like a winter storm. I think it got to like below freezing. And I think those hand warmers were legitimately the reason like I made it through that one night there. It was really
Wow.
bad. I
Wow.
did think I was gonna die. It was definitely one of like top 5 worst nights of my life. I'd put it
Okay.
up there.
Okay.
But there's been multiple other times where I went camping and I think my record is like -15 sleeping, and without hand
Fantastic.
warmers and foot warmers, I don't think it would have been as tolerable.
Yeah, because all of the heat is coming out of your extremities, right? Your hands,
Yeah.
feet, and your head, and like the underside of your neck or something like that. So
Yeah. So
gotta keep them
I think they're
warm.
great. They're a great invention. But I don't think in our, I don't think the average person uses them on the regular basis to say that they're a
I just
necessity.
wears gloves.
They're a great
you
survival.
know?
They're a great survival thing
Sure.
where if you're in that cold, gloves ain't gonna save you. You need the hand warmers as well. Especially when once that sun sets and it gets fucking dark and if it's windy, all that. I think this is I think we put these at E.
At E.
I was gonna say D, but I'm kind of not metagaming this. I'm doing the opposite of metagaming, Ethan. I'm just E feels right to me. I'm just letting the void call, and
As
I'm
someone who's never used them before, and like I just wear like black leather gloves, and that just keeps the heat in. Like I don't have a reason to use this ever. I am never going camping in the winter. I will never go.
well.
I
If
will never go
I
camping
will
in the
say
winter.
this, I think it's good to have them on hand in case you ever lose power or whatever bullshit. And also, day after tomorrow happens. You never know when that's gonna happen. When the big ice wave or whatever happens, and you need that warmth. So, folks, I would highly recommend at least this. You can buy them at anywhere. Get like a 10-pack, and you'll probably be set for your life.
Okay.
That's the survivalist in me. But yeah, hand warmers, I like that at E. That's just what the void. Like I said, I just didn't even think too much. I just let
Okay.
it happen.
Okay.
We have a long.
I agree. I feel like F we gotta save for Nazis and and
And
things
just
that are
really
of an
bad
offensive
things.
nature. But and we get to feel good about ourselves by not putting a probably feminist icon below a tool. You know what I mean? At least for
Right.
now. I'm sure eventually we'll get something where we'll be like, man, we just love cookies, and like that's S rank. But for now, I'm happy with our choices here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like in the past, to be fair, I feel like we've kind of struggled with D&E. So I'm hoping maybe this will be a good episode where we tackle a weakness.
Okay.
Speaking of weaknesses, on Twitter at dailyobject _ they're still posting. I guess yesterday was Daily Object 1071 bowl of M&Ms. That would have been a tough one for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna roll a D12.
Okay.
And we're gonna see which one we get. I'll scroll down based off
From the
number.
last 12 tweets. Okay.
As I sneeze, apologies. If allergy pills are on here, that might be an A.
Sorry, Helen.
5.
Okay.
My
5.
favorite number. I think that's my favorite number.
That's your favorite number?
Yeah.
My favorite number is 7 because I'm the seventh son of the seventh son.
We were just talking about fog machines.
Even though I'm the firstborn of the firstborn. No. First of the second?
1, 2, 3, 4.
First of the second and first of the third? A mug with the planet on it?
It says World Cup, which I don't know if it's supposed to be a pun of like, because I know the World Cup I think is next year, but I'm gonna take this at face value. It's a mug with the world on it, and it's a more European centric view of the world, I'll say.
You're not even on that picture, let alone Australia.
Yeah, I'm cut off. I am not included.
I'm still on there. Well, yeah,
but this is definitely more of a European,
semi-prime meridian centered, right? Yeah, I mean, now we don't know what's on the back of the mug.
In a way is better than it always being America, like on it. Like I guess I'll give them that. But then I feel like let's give some Asia some love. That's like the biggest continent in the world.
here's my listen, you and I talk, we joke about time zones and blah 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 blah, like none of that really matters. um and it's fun to be like, West Coast sucks because I mean, like you, like everything's already happened, and like you're finally catching up. Good for you. I get it. Like I'm East Coast, whatever. The rest, like I get to do trophy hunting stuff with people in Europe because they're still awake when I'm out of work. That stuff. But like putting all that aside, none of that really matters. However, what always makes me stupidly like, shut up, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you doing? Is maps like that where Europe is the center because come on, like let's be real here, come on. But then, and this is so mean and annoying, as I've never realized this before. Maps usually presented in like Japan or whatever, where it's the east and west or hemispheres are swapped, because then Japan is in the middle of the Pacific, not in the middle of the Pacific, but the Pacific is in the middle of the map, which they're in, and that for whatever reason means like, no, stop. But like, there is no north. We've decided that that's north, but it doesn't mean that that's the direction the maps even need to have. It's
or
whatever,
what is
right?
centered, or what should be front facing. Like if aliens come to Earth, I think unironically, I wouldn't want that to be one of the questions. Be like, okay, what do you think Earth should like look like on a map?
That is good.
You
and there's a history
like
of
who did you see first? Like what feels the most recognizable?
Yeah, wherever
to
you land, that is now the epicenter of whatever. But most map projections are white centric, focused, exaggerated.
Yeah.
You
Western
know what I mean?
Civilization.
Africa is
civilization,
often shown as big as Greenland, or maybe it was South America, something like that, in one of the big projection maps. So like it's all dumb. And you know what's even worse? We've talked about this before, Devin. I forget if it was episode 1, 2, or 3. Mugs.
Well, I found a
fuck mugs.
We did talk about mugs.
Fragile, stupid things. They get too hot or they get too cold. Oh, I love a good mug. It's got a handle. Whatever. You can buy a Stanley if you're one of those people, and you're cleared. So you have a badly drawn, awfully centric map on a plain ceramic white mug. I don't see anything that's good about that.
Yeah,
in fact, is Germany in the middle there?
Just taking the mug. I would say honestly,
kind of like North Africa is.
I was gonna say like yeah,
Morocco.
North or Western Africa looks a little bit more centered on this. The design also has that like, it looks like it was made in like Illustrator, which I don't think is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like it's very a digital art piece. It's kind of hard to tell in the picture, but like there's. What's that style? Like we did it in our digital media class, I think, back in high school, where we had to use like shapes of colors to like make a portrait or something like that. Oh,
sure. I mean, yeah.
Whatever that style is called, that's what that is. I'm more pro mug than you are. I'll say I'm more pro mug than you are, but I don't think this particular mug is moving me. This is not something I would purchase. If I got it as a gift, I'd be like, cool, I'll take it. And I would probably bring up the fact in a conversation of what we just talked about, like, yeah, it's kind of an interesting perspective on the Earth. I give it's a little bit different, I guess, like than America being fully shown in the image.
Although I'm sure a map like that has been the dominant map for longer in human history than what we might currently consider. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At one point, it was probably just Europe was dead center, and they're like, "There's just water," and then India,
right, and then just India, specifically India.
Yeah. Let's put this. See, I like it more than hand warmers, but I'm going back to like I'm saying, I'm changing up the strategy a little bit. I want to leave D open. I think we're gonna get something better. I'm gonna put this at E. I think we put this at E.
I was gonna say I could go. I want to say F, but I can understand that it isn't that bad. So I'm also with you on the.
And in a way, hand warmers with a mug, that might be clutch if you're out there winter camping. So maybe E is for extravagant camping this time around.
maybe.
Extreme camping. If maybe.
Yeah, but I feel
Either
like you're
you're
not using
camping on the
an open cup like that. You know what I mean? You'd use something more like a thermos.
for extreme camping. You're either out there in the tundra or you're on the sun. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So
The surface of the planet or the surface of the sun. What's the difference?
all right, random nouns. Let's go. Grain.
Oh, okay.
Now on the
okay.
surface, on the initial reaction, I'm like, cool, like whatever. Like I'm not like I don't have a strong opinion, but then I think about half of my diet comes from like bread, carbs, and most of the time that's made with grain or some sort of grain plant. So I feel like I don't also want to do the whole thing where like, well, if we got air or oxygen, we have to put that at S because we need it to survive. I don't want to get down that rabbit hole too much. But I will say, as someone who's not a big foodie person, if you took away grain out of my life, I think I would not have a fun time.
Same.
Existing on this planet.
Grain makes up everyone on the planet. It's half of their diet, except maybe some heavily rice-based cultures, which is
I guess rice is a type of grain.
Because
I think
guess
rice
what
is
else
a grain.
is a grain? Even though people might call it a vegetable, it's a grain. Is corn. Corn is a grain.
And rain makes corn, and corn makes whiskey, and we all know the ending of that.
Right. Yeah, corn is a grain, and that in Western cultures is most people's entire diet, or is a part of everyone's entire diet.
Wait,
I have a can of corn right here. It's called a Cherry Coke Zero.
Corn,
you know what I
corn
mean?
syrup. It wasn't in Interstellar. Like that's half of the issue was that like all the grains were being eaten by all the locusts and the
It's
diseases.
been a decade plus since I saw that movie, but
that's the reason they had to like try to see if there's an alternative to going to like they had to go to space because like they had to see if there's another planet out there that could support farming basically and life, not alone just a life, but farming specifically. If I'm not mistaken, because he had all the corn, and it wasn't looking good.
okay. Thank you for the recap of a movie from 2014.
One of the better science fiction movies.
I saw it in theaters once, and that was it.
Good.
So
That's amazing. I saw it in IMAX, and I was mad because they said there was previews when I got there, and there was no previews. So I got in right when the baseball scene started,
which is the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so I didn't miss too much, but it was enough to where I was pissed off.
Listen, I'm willing to put grain at C just because it is a fact, if that makes sense. Like I'm not like
a fact
yes,
of life.
listen, there are better things out there to eat health-wise. Unfortunately, grain is not one of them. For the most part, it is just simply not. It makes up everything, but it's not positive or negative for me. It is just a fact. And I feel like that's might be how we got to treat some of the stuff like air, like you mentioned, where it is just a fact. You know what I mean? We can't be thinking too like too precious about it.
Yeah, because then we just wind up anytime we get one of those, well, we got to put it in S because if we don't have it, we die. And it's like,
right.
Yeah, but like that's not fun to rank that way.
Right. We got to put brownies up at the top. You know what I mean?
Pizza near me. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with grain at C. I think I don't think it's a D. I don't think I like grain. I like my frosted mini wheats once in a while, and I've been eating cereal again.
Haven't
for the
had
first time
those
in like
a long
10
time.
years.
Maybe I'll go buy some next time
dude.
I'm at the store. You know,
I always like their little.
Those were underrated. People would be like, I don't like them. Like those were one of my favorite cereals.
Old man cereal. I'm
because
like, well, fuck you.
There was a lot to eat, if that makes sense. Like a bowl was more filling. It felt.
It was.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm eating cereal again. First time in 10 years. I'm back. The GOAT returned. Michael Jordan's back.
Yeah, I'm
cereal
thinking
god.
I'm back.
All right. On to arguably the most very niche one. We've gotten some very specific things on here.
Led to a lot of contentious stuff, you know.
It has. So we are going to press random article and see what we get, and that's what we're doing. Please, Wikipedia, you've been kind of 50-50 You've been giving some shitty people, and then also then just random specific things. So I'm hoping to something fun that we all know. Let's go. Oh, Lane Peterson. I've heard of this name. It is a hockey player.
Oh,
Lane Peterson is a Canadian professional ice hockey forward, which means he's one of the top three people in the front for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, arguably one of the best AHL teams. They have a cool logo. It's the Flyers affiliate. Um, he's undrafted. He is still playing. He also returned to the San Jose Barracuda, my Sharks AHL team, but now he's currently, I guess, on the Columbus Blue Jackets. No wonder his name sounded familiar because I've probably seen him play. He's currently with the Philadelphia Flyers as of July 1st, 2025.
okay. I've just say how typical of Wikipedia to once again give us a Nazi, because hockey is
No.
the devil's sport. So I'll put him in F. How do you spell his name?
No, I think this is.
You'll have to
I mean,
lead with this because I have no.
I'll
I don't
say
even know
this.
what context to put my lack of opinion in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Lane Peterson. He's from Saskatchewan, which I love saying that because I have to
okay,
really think about it when I say it, and I want to visit there one day just to say he's from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Like that's a cool place.
sure.
But he's been on a lot of teams. He seems to be. He was undrafted, but the fact that he's still playing, I guess, is something. But he doesn't have a picture in here. He isn't like a legendary player. He isn't Sidney Crosby or Alexander Ovechkin, one of the goats. So for me personally, he isn't moving the needle for me either. But do I like hockey more than handwarmers and World Cup the mug?
I mean, I
But
joked about F. That's not.
but at the same time, I'm like, maybe he is F, but that like, but
I
maybe
would feel like D.
remember
I mean,
this is a
is he
spectrum.
like a good person? Is he a good player? You know, if he's a good player, I feel like then you
He
could put him in F, unless he's a
uh
rapist or
no,
something like
well,
that.
there was actually one goalie who I think, or goalie or player who was signed recently to one team who is or has been accused of, and everyone's pissed about that. Other story. That's a whole
Didn't know
other thing.
Cristiano Ronaldo played hockey now.
Oh, so here you go. He was part of the San Jose Sharks trade with Brent Burns. That's how I know him. But yeah, I mean he isn't a big time player. He's kind of he's in the AHL, which is the minors a lot, it seems, or he's kind of he's not. I don't know if he's even playing every night. It seems like he's yeah, he's currently, or he had stats from the AHL last season for most of the season. So he's not like a big time player. He is a minor
Okay,
league kind
okay.
of careerist,
Your
which is
call
fine.
on
Better than
this.
like the average person by any means, but
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pretty good at
making the
hockey.
AHL is probably a lot of people would even take that if you've played hockey. But here's the thing: this show is a spectrum. F could still be like a C on another week. You know what I mean? Like we can't assume. I get that we want to hold it in case we get something bad, but he isn't like this well-known player. Like I've heard of the name and I wasn't even entirely sure until I read it. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
maybe he's F. I no offense to Lane Peterson. You're welcome on the show anytime. But
And that's Lane, Lane.
yes, and then Peterson is Pederson.
Oh, Pederson.
Peterson.
He's not a Peter.
No, he's
Uh,
no.
my
Lane Peterson.
impression gives us the F tier. There we go.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think he's just your average AHL player. But hey, we got something that I kind of know, so that's a
Sure.
win. We've gotten ones where it was like the British, what was it, sewer system.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
there was something about
It's
a
from
road
1800.
or something. Yeah.
All right,
We were
now
like,
we
yeah,
go
I mean, that
to
works.
giantbomb.com. Got this random person I found who listed 100 random things that they've seen. We're gonna roll a 1d100 here and see what we get.
Sounds good.
Close my eyes and then press stop. 97.
Ooh, I feel
if
like
we've
we've
gotten
gotten
Yeah, we'll
We'll see.
see.
We'll see.
Oh, see, now we're switching, Ethan. You tell me everything about Falco Lombardi. I have
Oh,
no the
okay.
fuck that this guy is.
So he's from the video game known as Star Fox.
Okay.
I have never played a Star Fox, but I've played a Super Smash Brother, and he is one of the two, three, sometimes three Star Fox characters in Super Smash Brother. Sorry, Super Smash Bro. Sorry, that's how you pronounce it. He is a hot shot. He's a cocky jerk. He's on your team. He's on Fox's team. He's one of the good guys, but he's a little bit of a show off. He's blue and probably Falcon based.
It'd be
They
funny
got
if he wasn't though. Like they're like actually he's a peacock or something.
that would be funny. I feel like that Nintendo has done that. Oh, Donkey Kong. You know, but I would say, due to my limited experience with the Falco Lombardi, I don't particularly care for any of those furry dudes and or feathered guys and or scaly. One of them's a frog. In the Star Fox. But I would say he's also F tier.
I think it's a good trade where we're both like one of us didn't know part of it.
And I think
I
it's
was
funny.
gonna say he does look like someone from Star Fox, but I've also never I don't think I've even like been around someone playing Star. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't even say like, oh, I played it at a friend's house. Like
We
I
played
think
Omega Boost on the channel here, and like that's kind of what it is. It's an on rails, but it's more of just like left or right chooses different level paths type of stuff, and
Okay.
people love the series, and
They
but
like
I got to
Star
be
Foxing.
honest with those people. No one cares except for you and Shigeru Miyamoto, and he doesn't care that much, so it's going in the F tier.
I do like the name, by the way.
Yeah,
Going
giving him
back
an
to sports,
Italian like last name,
it kind of gives me like a quarterback name. My name is Falco Lombardi. Like I'd be like, oh, he's
right?
like you automatically are at least making the team just
Yes.
by
Now, to be an asshole, that also sounds like a really asshole-ish soccer player name. It's
well
Falco Lombardi, and he cries
Lombardi
a
is
lot.
also the Lombardi Trophy was what the Super Bowl is. Like that trophy is called
Oh,
Lombardi. So I think that's part of the reason
I
I'm
thought it
thinking
was
of it
called the
that way.
Super Bowl, but
Yeah, you win the Lombardi Trophy at the Super Bowl.
that
As one does. Now we get to arguably my favorite part of this
was our
program.
quickest one today.
um, we get to Leia's list, 125 random things that
Right.
Leia loves on listchallenges.com. 1D125. And we go. She's given us some good stuff. I will say she's given us some stuff we don't know, but she has given us some good stuff. So I'm hoping now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, we're feeling E. Oh, we're doing F. But now I'm worried because we have a lot of positive stuff we
Right.
need to fill here. Is this
We've
the
been
opposite
very negative
of what
today.
we've? Is
Just
this the
assuming.
opposite though? Of I feel like other episodes we've had a lot of good things and it's been
We
hard.
have, you have, but then
Now
I
we're
feel
getting
like
some
we've
like
been compensating and maybe overcorrecting. But we'll see. We'll see.
3. Wow, I don't have to
The
scroll
opposite of a
anywhere.
97.
Okay, all time low the band. All time low. I couldn't tell you a song. I know they're from Baltimore because they've back to the sports thing. I know they've like done like the national anthem or something for the Ravens, or they did like a halftime show for the Ravens because they're from Baltimore. I know they were big in like the 2010s. I think they're like a alternative pop boy band. I think they're kind of like a
Huh.
indie sound, but all like they're not like One Direction, but they are like
Like a 21
boys.
Pilots type of
I
nonsense.
think they're not my cup of tea. From what but I couldn't tell you a song name, so maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe they would be, but I from what my context I've gotten from them, I'm like, that ain't for me. I'm not the target audience. I think they're still around. I'm not sure if they've, but I don't know if I feel like it's tough when you're a boy band. Sometimes you have a certain time frame and then you usually do a solo thing, and maybe you
Yeah,
guys
it's
regroup for the nostalgia.
the era in which you still look like kids.
Yes.
That's your time frame.
Yeah. So I don't really have like it ain't for me. Like I think I maybe you
Doesn't sound
either
like
shit
it'd be
at
for
Hot
me
Topic,
either.
maybe. I'll say this: out of everything here so far, of doing things, I mean, like maybe a mug, I would be like, I'd rather have coffee or like chai or something. But like all time low, I'm like, I guess I'd rather go to that than be using hand warmers in the freezing cold. Maybe I'd rather be at the hockey game seeing Lane Peterson. To be fair, I guess I'd rather see Lane Peterson be playing hockey. I think that'd be really fun. But if All Time Low is playing like during the intermission, I'd be like, sure, why not? I'm not here for that, but like I won't be like rolling my eyes, I guess. Probably. I don't really roll my eyes at that kind of stuff unless it's like conservative country music. Like that's when I'll be like, okay, right.
Sure.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like this is an easy E or F.
Well, right now it's gonna have to be D.
That's not. I'm trying to
we
like.
could use our swap for it, but I have a feeling that we're not going to use it on this because we're gonna want to swap A and S or B and something like that.
Or do we put A for all time low for A because of A's?
No. Is it just literally the words all time low?
Yes, the 3 words all time low.
I didn't know if like there's a hyphen or any nonsense like that. Okay, well, it's gonna go in D for now.
I'm just trying to rationalize it, but I'm not upset with D. I think I just maybe move it down. But this goes back to lack of experience again. This is me just kind of I think a boy band, indie rock, alternative rock band. I think.
Doesn't sound like music for me either. So, even though we have not really all that overlapping musical tastes,
we have. So I don't think that's ever.
We have dead zones that we overlap on. I feel like.
Dead zones. All right, gone through it once. We're back. Helen Keller, thank you. For
currently tied for our highest.
Currently,
she is.
This is a first. I think this is the first so far. I mean, we've only done the 6 episodes here, but I think it's the first time that we're going through the second half of this show, and we don't have anything above C like that. I think we've always had at least one at A or B or or even S. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. This might be. I'm not feeling this. I was feeling good like halfway through the first half, but now I'm feeling a little anxious. I'm getting a little anxious, Ethan. This board.
I just start giving us food, and we can be better at justifying the top. I mean, they did give us food, but they gave us like core ingredient for everything that's boring, and we kind of hate, but we have as a necessity.
Just give us like James Marsden here, please, and then like that's an easy S. You know what I mean? We can build off of that. Here we go. Barbara Streisand.
The Streisand effect. Okay. Which is funny because that's all I know about her. Is the thing named after her. I don't know why that was whatever she had done to have that anointed, you know what I mean, to her.
What is the Streisand effect? Because I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know if I actually know it.
Okay, it's this is one of those things where you have to use an example in order to explain it. 7. Let's say that you had a really, 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 really explosive diarrhea fest at work, and you were like, "Oh, this is gonna be real embarrassing. Everyone's gonna make fun of me for this. Oh my god!" Like they all know. And in reality, no one knew. But because you started telling people to not like acknowledge it, now they all know.
Oh.
It's one of those things where like it wasn't that big of a deal, or this wasn't a known thing until you really went out on defense for it, and now we're all asking, why are you so defensive of this?
I hope people will be that way about this podcast soon.
Defensive about it? I really like it. I don't,
tell everyone and be really adamant that it's great.
The window in the top right corner is very small, but I like it like that. I understand that they don't have room. I mean, we Googled Helen Keller.
Has she been anything I'm okay with Googling, by the way, and it's not like a rule we've ever established. I'm okay if it adds just like some reminders or context. Because it's like Wikipedia, we have it all there, so we can read it and learn more. And also, we're not supposedly masters of pop culture, so it's okay.
She's a singer, actress, songwriter,
Okay.
etc., etc. Wikipedia is just I want to know why it's called that.
Is there is there like a paragraph about it, a section? Um, yeah, I mean, I'll say this: I've heard the name, and I don't think I've heard of Streisand effect. Maybe I have, but it's not really like it wasn't. That's why I asked because I wasn't really ringing any bells for me.
Okay.
And yeah, I couldn't really tell you much about her. But go ahead.
We'll get to her in a second, but just the origin of where this came from, which is obviously a part of her. The coin was termed in 2005 by Mike Masnick after Barbra Streisand attempted to suppress the publication of a photo by someone showing her cliff-top residence in Malibu. In 2003, the American singer and actress Barbra Streisand sued the photographer, made a blah, 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 whole deal out of it. Essentially, it was not like, again, it was not a big deal, but because she went on the defensive about it, I don't know. She is a singer and a songwriter and actress. Let's see
Okay.
what songs that she had done. But
Gosh,
her
I don't know if I'm
legacy
gonna know these.
is literally that
Is she
of
still
like
she's still doing stuff, or is this like she's done? She's kind of
she has to be still alive if that was, only 20 years ago. Well, she's been divorced and remarried.
who hasn't in
So
Hollywood though? If anything, that's like street cred. That'd be like good for you. You're getting around.
she was born in 42.
Great year. Not really. Take that back immediately. It is not a great year.
Because she was born.
Right. Exactly what I meant.
I don't know. The Wikipedia doesn't really have like a really
All right.
like, here's
Well,
her discography.
I think this is an all-time low. I think
Actually,
maybe
no, she
Barbara
has stuff.
Streisand.
She
Streisand
wrote a
all-time
lot of
low,
stuff. Who cares?
co-headlining for the D concert next Tuesday. See you there. Yeah, let's put Barbara Streisand. And that's
She wrote a song that came out this year.
okay.
Called
She's still going.
"The Secret Life: Partners, Volume 2."
Hmm.
So
You know what? Maybe I will check it out. Maybe
you don't
I
need
will.
to. You don't need to.
I'll report back. I'll say
Let's,
that we're wrong.
Put this at D because ultimately, who cares?
Yeah. Put them in a co-headline show. Let's do it. Why not? It's Barbara, spelled the way you normally
I
spell it.
copied it from Wikipedia.
Okay, cool. Because I was like Streisand. I feel like I'd put the I. I'd swap it with the E on accident.
I do that all the time.
All right, random object generator. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. That's a Barracuda song. Or no, that's not that Barracuda is another song. Ignore that. Tweezers. Fuck, man. Like tweezers. Kind of bad vibes. I can't really describe it. I just feel like tweezers. I don't like the idea of tweezers near me. Like
Really?
if you're using tweezers on me, I feel like I either have like a pus going on or a insect crawling into my skin.
Oh, like a tick.
The only time I've used, yeah, like I'm using that to like detach a parasite trying to get inside. Tweezers I've only used as a kid to pick up bugs because I used to collect bugs and shit in the backyard.
Okay.
And I feel like I probably was bringing that same fear that I have onto them, and now I feel bad about it.
Just the metallic hands of God picking them up.
Just picking them up.
Yeah.
They were just rolling. They were, they was rolling around at the speed of sound, and then all of a sudden, giant tweezers came and grabs and fed it to a praying mantis, probably.
Hey man, what I'll say, I have nothing but positive experience with tweezers because I've only ever
Really?
used them to remove splinters. Sometimes maybe on the tummy, you get an ingrown hair that you have to pluck out.
I don't. That's a bad
And,
experience. I don't like that.
But hey, it's a tool that gives you the solution to a problem that you had. It is the resolve, the relief. It is the salvation. Also, tweezers really good when I have a PS3 open and a screw has fallen down in the thing and I have to grab the thing and pull it out of there, or
Fair.
stuff like that. That's the only reasons I've ever used tweezers. Trying to get, I've never plucked eyebrows out or anything. I know they have a lot of uses in beauty stuff. You
I
could
don't know.
you could use it as a spanner if you need to open up your nostril more, or other tiny holes you might have. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe
See,
you
I
need
really
help
was
getting a
hoping this
kidney
would
stone
say.
out.
I was hoping it would say Twizzlers instead of tweezers. I think that'd be a different conversation.
Red
But
vines are better, but yeah. I'm okay with tweezers at sea, which is the lowest we could give it,
but now we're in real tough territory. It's B up.
right?
We're really rolling with B. Maybe Helen Keller will end up at S, or maybe she deserves to be at the. We'll have to swap her to S at some point.
This is a weird list too,
You're
because it's
right.
a lot
It's
of
C. This
whatever.
is crazy. We are really going B upward on here on out, and that is scary considering the next couple on this list.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have put a video game character and a hockey player who's alive at F tier, and like maybe brought them up more, because like what else are we gonna get?
Yeah, can we shift everything up one? Is that do we get
Is
one
that
big
a
swap
special
we could
rule
do?
where everything just moves like one spot? That would be a pain in the ass for me. So I'm gonna say no. We're not doing that rule.
Well, I'm hoping we get something good at Daily Object. I think World Cup, the mug, is one of the few low end things we can get on the Daily Object. I've seen some good ones on here, so I'm hoping we get something good here that we're like, yes, thank God we got this one and we saved all that space up ahead. Yeah, we need to get in the attic here. This is one. Yes, yes, yes. Bowl of M&Ms. Yes. Minimum B. I know you're not as big on M&Ms, but I'm excited because this is one of the few things that it's like the only thing on this list that I'm like positive.
Sure.
Yes.
And then to
bowl of
defend
M&Ms.
myself on the M&M stance, folks at home, we're talking plain M&Ms. They are filler chocolate candy. They are just something you're like there's not really anything to them. They are still chocolate candies, and Mars's chocolate is good. But that's my only thing. We're talking plain M&Ms is what's depicted in the picture,
And not just plain, a bowl of
a
M&Ms.
bowl of them.
A bowl is
And what
included.
that
A bowl
means-
is included.
It means you probably are doing this at some point and just like a
This
bear.
is for like a party right here, or you're watching your favorite sports team lose again, and you have your bowl of, maybe you have Chex Mix on one end and you got your M&Ms on the other, and you can grab as many as you want and as little as you want. You can use those tweezers if you want to be sophisticated. You can get the tweezers and you grab one of the M&Ms of which you want and you pop them in your mouth. Yeah, that's
I
what
will
I'm thinking
say-
of. A
I will
bowl of
just say
M&Ms is
also-
like very party or like game day.
Right.
Like,
In that context, just having them be a lot in a bowl does improve the M&Ms to me because of that aspect. So I'm not saying I wouldn't even put them normally below B. Just in general, I'm just saying like it's not there are better M&Ms. There's ones that have pretzels in them. Those are the best M&Ms. Do I
I feel
ever
like
see
if
them in the
you-
store anymore? No. I see the stupid ones filled with peanut butter. That's gross. Or the caramel filled ones. Those are gross. The peanut M&Ms are okay, but a regular bowl of M&Ms, I'm okay being that at B.
well, can I just add a little bit more to this?
Go for it.
I want to add more to my context of like, oh, you might see this at a party. That's probably a reason they're in a bowl.
Right.
And that means there's a potential for other bowls of snacks. Like I was mentioning Chex Mix. You might have some other types of chips or snackage. You might have appetizers even. And that tells me that you're in for a good time. I think if you have a bowl of M&Ms, that implies that there might be other things as well with it that you can. If M&Ms ain't for you, there's something else that will be in a bowl that you will like. Chips and salsa. I'm not a big chips and salsa person, but for some that might be, hell yeah, I'm at a good party. That might mean I'm getting a soda. That might mean I'm getting a beer. That might mean, there's so much potential there.
I mean,
And I
sure,
think it's a
but
very good image.
that's
a good
that's a
image.
hypothetical. It's a theoretical.
I'm just saying it out there that Bowl of M&Ms has that potential. It's like, you're putting a team together. You're putting your Avengers together. But
Yeah,
you
got the
want Bowl
blue
of
ones, you
M&Ms.
got the green ones, a lot of orange ones in there, which makes me think, is this a bowl of Reese's Pieces, which is a higher tier than a bowl of M&Ms?
There could be though.
But there's
It
not,
wouldn't be
because
it
it's a
wouldn't be
bowl of
out.
M&Ms.
All right, Bowl of M&Ms. I'm feeling A, but if you want to put it B, that's fine. I'm just thinking of else we're gonna
Relative
get on
to
this
everything
list.
else on the list, I'm fine with bowl of M&Ms being at A. I am okay with that.
Let's do that because I'm afraid, honestly, of now. I am metagaming. Fuck it, we're metagaming. I'm afraid of what we're gonna get from Wikipedia.
Dude, if they give us someone real bad, we have to use the swap on like
Lane
Falco
Peterson's about to be the
Lombardi.
best NHL player. Actually, he's really underrated. That's gonna be my argument to get him out of that.
Now here's the thing. As of right now, bowl of
Yes.
M&Ms is A. As of right now, I don't think we've lost. We've just had a lot of boring ass shit on the list. It
We
just
gotta hope for
depends on
some-
what we get now.
We need some real good polls. I've seen this. We've only done 6 episodes, but historically, we've gotten some real oddballs that were like, okay, like how do we roll with this? So that's what I'm afraid of. But you never know. This could be like the start of a legendary run right here. This will be like an episode people talk about 50 years from now, because of course we'll still be doing this because we're insane. Lock.
A lock?
Just
The
says
ultimate
noun,
safety
lock.
tool, I guess.
Not a lock, just lock.
Well, if it's
A lock could be, hey, Ethan, I think that bowl of M&Ms is a lock at A. Could also be used as to talk about things. It just says lock.
It's kind of messed up that what separates me and all of these people ICE kidnapped is a lock. So that's a negative as well, right? You know what I mean? There's. I watch a YouTube channel called The Lock Picking Lawyer. Way too many views. Way too many views. Way too many videos of this man, just his hands and his disembodied voice, picking all sorts of locks and saying what the flaws are. I now feel like I have secondhand experience and I can get through any single one of these locks. So I don't feel personally that locks are this all-powerful thing. I feel like, you can get through them if you need.
They're deterrents. They're not a guarantee safety net. They're hey, this is going to take time and effort and risk. I do believe that. It's like, the whole ring. Everyone should get a Ring camera. And it's like, one, don't sell your information because they usually give it to
the police
people who don't want
that.
them. Yeah, but regardless of that, even in like just if you're going from just the kind of high level thought of like, well, it won't let people do nothing. Here's the thing: if people are desperate enough, they don't care. They will do what they got to do. Like, so like lock to me is more of a preventive. It's like mosquito repellent. Doesn't stop a mosquito from still trying.
Yeah, they changed the locks on my apartment building. They changed all the locks and they made them worse. They are less secure, and but they look really nice in photos, which is why they did that. Because I'm sure they got them for cheap.
Now they can raise their rent $100 next year or whatever bullshit.
And so I was home at the time in the middle of a work week. Like they did it, and so like all the other people work a normal 9 to 5. By the time they get back from work, the office is closed. So I guess you don't get your key.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they gave 2 hours notice that they had said a couple days ahead of time that they were going to do it, and they would reach out to let us know when. But the when reaching out shouldn't be 2 hours before I see a guy outside the window doing it. But so I have negative recent experiences with locks, personally speaking. Here,
another negative of locks: if you lose that key, you're fucked. Like you just said, like if you don't have the key,
you have to pay a guy to undo it,
or you got to learn how to pick it. And once again, that's in theory, all locks are able to be picked, right? Like, or to some degree, or
it's just knowledge about how they look on the inside.
Or some locks, like padlocks, can be cut with like the heavy.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I've done that once when I was working at the one at grocery store I used to work at back in the day, because we had like in the break room, people had their little lockers, and someone like forgot their key or couldn't get in, and they really needed to like get into their locker to get whatever was in there, and so I had to use the big bolt cutters. And I was like, how is this going to work? Because, I've only seen it in movies. And I'm like, oh, shit, now I get to do it. And it was pretty weird, like, sensation. Because it was like, it was just that sharp. And I'm like, I'm not a strong guy. But I was able to, I
Right.
was able to do it. I was like,
And now you're
yeah, man,
imagining
if
like your
someone,
wrist in there or something like that, just bone
yeah,
just
yeah, it just snaps. And I'm like, man, if people, like, it goes back to my thing. I'm like, if people really wanted to break into something, they're going to do it. Like,
yeah, yeah,
one way
yeah,
or
yeah.
another. This isn't a B, but I think we have to put it at B right now. And we
Right.
can see if we get we have a swap, we get a bunch of good stuff from here on out, and maybe we move it with like grain or something, and we'll feel better about it.
If anything, it's kind of good that we're not getting a whole bunch of good things at the end here because we only do have one swap. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay
Yeah,
with the rest of or a bunch of I don't know really bad things rather. I guess I mean
this spectrum could just be really
a
kind
really
of
lame.
specific. Yeah, like maybe S won't be anything that exciting, but for compared to everything else, it is what it is. But we always look at S as like, it's like the Hall of Fame, once you get an S, you're part of the club, the exclusive club. You get the gold
Right.
jacket.
Right.
So
Right.
it'll be interesting. All right, Wikipedia. This is the one I'm most scared of because of just I feel like we've never gotten anything that's like, oh hell yeah, like before.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. I mean, I'll take Lane Peterson every time, but I hope there's a even something cooler. Let's go. Oh my God. What is this? The Connecticut State Militia. The Connecticut
Go
State
on.
Militia are the armed forces of the state of Connecticut under the authority of the governor and adjutant general of the state. Private militias. In Connecticut, it is illegal to train or act as a militia without express authority of the governor or federal law. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of, for which amendment it is, of like the right uh, to a state assemble, I think. So like unless that's their argument is that this is the state assembly, but like if your neighbors are pissed off enough, like isn't that the law? Is that like let's say your government is doing something super shitty, like I don't know, making an ICE detention center, like isn't
Right.
there an argument to be made
Not
that
that there
like
could
we
be
are
any recent examples, obviously.
um Connecticut, I'm pretty sure. So my first fear of reading, so this is nothing. It's kind of just seems like okay, whatever. That's kind of how I'm feeling
Connecticut,
about it.
richer state. A lot of white people there. What would they need a militia for? What would they want to,
I don't know, in case the other states are like, you know what, you're small enough, you could be absorbed one day. I was
Sure.
gonna say, I'm pretty sure Connecticut was on either wasn't involved or was on in the North for the Civil War. That was my other fear. Is like state militia. How long are we going back here?
Sure.
Because there's also the state militias in the South upholding like you know uh, slavery and shit. So dude, this ain't a B either. God, but I think we got to do it. We got to. I mean, this is default B. This is where we're at. You know what though? This could be a lot worse. This could have been like, yeah, going back to you keep saying we keep getting Nazis. So I'm glad that we don't have to put even just a screen grab of a Nazi at B. Or else I'd be say, fuck it, we're using an immediate swap if we're putting Lane Peterson at B and putting whoever.
Right.
All right. Yes, Connecticut State Militia. Nice. CT. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a long, long.
And I was going to
string.
ask, is CT, like, is that the two
Yeah, I
letters
think it's
for
CT.
Connecticut? Because it can't be CN.
All right. Got through one of the scarier ones.
We have 3 left,
We
and
do.
they all need to be awesome. I don't want to have a bowl of M&Ms at the S rank. Sorry.
They do. All right. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's only 2 left here. Am I crazy? Did we
I got
skip
3
one?
spots.
We did lock. We did daily object. 1, 2,
Oh, wait.
7. We should be. Do we forget to add one somewhere?
Did I overwrite lock onto something?
We didn't have anything in B. hold on, I'm going through the back. We have lock. We have bowl of M&Ms. Oh, bowl of M&Ms got I th- was on A.
Oh, I put it
So
on
C
A.
so CT so CT State Militia should be at B spot
Right.
2
That's the
and then
mistake I
M&Ms.
made.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm glad
Okay.
we caught it
CT.
instead of we got further down. We're like, fuck, we can't put this at A.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on.
You're good.
CT State Militia. Okay, 2 spots left. And these do need to be the heaviest of hitters. Hitters that have hitted heavier than ever, and can get away with various financial crimes due to a misunderstanding about the English language and needing a translator. The heaviest hitters and pitchers possible. Okay.
All right, we're doing our plow driver guy. 59.
Okay.
Just gonna control F here. Oh, I know this is where
That's rank. Oh my god!
I can't even fight you on this because like
it's my favorite video game of all time. It's my favorite video game of all time. Listen. Now to defend why I would want this at the S rank spot. There's a bunch of different ways I can go about this. I will say this: game came out, Devin, while we were 7. Okay, this game for me was a game I finished, which never happens for these long games. I don't think I finished a single Zelda game before finishing this game, even though I played a lot of them, okay? I didn't like Disney. Did not care for Disney at all. Still don't, and this game didn't change my mind, other than tell me, actually, Donald Duck and Goofy are my fucking homies, but their default appearances in my brain are their appearances in Kingdom Hearts. Donald Duck doesn't wear that sailor hat. He's got the weird constant zipper thing. Goofy has a green turtleneck thing because that's what he wears. Don't care for Disney, never did. This introduced me to Final Fantasy. I remember opening up the manual and telling my mom, oh my god, this guy is he's from Final Fantasy VIII. Not knowing what Roman numerals were, stuff like that, okay? Gameplay-wise, while I do think its sequel is one of the best, if not the best, action video game I've ever played, the original, an extremely solid action RPG. Every time you go on the internet and you see someone, whether they end up making a good game or a bad game or whatever, in between, quality aside, are like, yeah, you know, we're making a JRPG without any of the turn-based, because who likes turn-based? Turns out a lot of people. You know, we're gonna do it where no one's ever done it before. Kingdom Hearts did it, and they did it in a very, very specific way, Devin. They took your command menu that you would have in a Final Fantasy game, your attack, your magic, your items, any other miscellaneous options, and they just stuck it in the corner of an action game. Your X button is not the attack button. It is confirm menu selection, which is by default on attack. You are thumbing through a menu in real time while running around and jumping, and that sounds awful. That sounds like a nightmare. But it's actually brilliant, and I haven't seen any real-time action game do, you know, RPG-like stuff in any way that is better than what sounds like an unoptimized, like a poor idea. You know, just what if we just did this and it works? The action's really good. I think the main character, Sora, he is one of my favorite characters in fiction. I have talked on various shows and podcasts and whatever about I don't care too much about a lot of modern anime. We can put horniness aside and all that stuff. That's not even what I'm talking about right now.
And this is where Ethan also found his horniness from Kingdom Hearts.
No. That was when I was 48 years old is when I first discovered my horniness.
Right.
I forgot what it was. Oh, modern anime. There's a lot of these shows or whatever that'll have a main character who I swear to God is them just trying to rip off Sora, having some like goody two shoes boy who's just a good boy, and all of it sucks. Sora's done it good, and I don't need to go into any other explanation. It is my favorite video game of all time. I think the music is outstanding. Even the fact that when you go to a Disney World, the battle music sounds like it could have come from that movie. Just because Yoko Shimomura is the greatest of all time at video game compositions and arrangements, she's
I was
better than
gonna
anyone that
say,
you like.
was it? Don't they just pull from parts of the?
There's only a couple
The
instances, like
mm.
the Halloween Town Nightmare Before Christmas world uses that song as
I was
like
gonna
the
ask, is that
standard.
one in this one, or is that the sequel?
All right, the Disney stuff that is in this one video game in order, besides like Donald Duck, Goofy, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Minnie
And
Mouse,
Goofy's
Daisy.
from his skateboarding world. If I'm not
No,
mistaken.
unfortunately, they never did any of that. They never went there. You have Alice in Wonderland. It's okay. Okay. You have Tarzan.
Oh,
You
really?
have Hercules, which they use not to tell like the story of that movie, but as like where you do all the big arena fights. Where like, okay, how many waves of this can you last through before you lose? That type of stuff. You have Aladdin. Okay. Nightmare Before Christmas. Little Mermaid. Okay. It's a good movie, but they do it kind of poorly here because you have to swim. They make you a mermaid. Donald Duck is a half octopus. Goofy becomes half
I didn't
turtle.
know that.
Yeah,
I
in
didn't know
Little
that was
Mermaid
part of
Land.
their. That
Yeah,
implies something. I feel
yeah.
like.
Only the whale part of the Pinocchio movie. Only the inside of the whale part. Peter Pan. Those are the Disney stuff. And then you have, Final Fantasy has had summons, so they do summons in this game, which are a couple extra Disney stuff. You got Tinkerbell. You have Simba. You
Simba.
have Bambi. Dumbo? Maybe not
Hey,
Dumbo.
hey, don't call me that.
Dumbo is okay. Listen, all I'm saying is it's irrational, but Kingdom Hearts is my favorite game of all time, and I think it's a really good game. I got that Platinum trophy less than a year ago on the PS3 version of the HD remaster. And this is my TED Talk, my TEDx talk. Jarn has,
Now it's ahead of TED. And
yes.
TEDx. I'll say I've
Listen,
never.
we had an episode where we had the thing right above or below this, and I recognized on the list, I said, thank God, Devin, that for you that we didn't reach this number because this would be S tier. I think this saves
Yes.
the list for me, personally.
I'll say I'm not. I'm not a big Disney fan either. I didn't really watch Disney Channel growing up. That's probably the reason like I never found interest in the game because I was like whatever. But I remember when I've seen you stream it here and there. Uh, See, I like Nightmare Before Christmas. It to me is you know, especially the beginning of that movie, like is like I Tim Burton I think aesthetically like really captured what
It's
like
one of the
Halloween
only
is.
3 good Tim Burton movies.
I need to rewatch Sleepy Hollow because I've been itching on that.
I've never seen that. It is not on my list of films to consider when making the only 3 good Tim Burton movies, which include Batman and includes Beetlejuice. And I like Nightmare Before
Oh.
Christmas because I think it's a very clever idea. I think it's a very clever.
But anyways, the fact that that's a level in I was gonna ask.
it was also a
specifically,
level
is
in the second game too.
I was making sure. I just didn't remember which one I saw
because they liked it too much.
It
was very.
So I was gonna ask if it wasn't, I'm gonna be like, I'll let you have S, but on paper. But if you have a Halloween level, I
and
always
it's
say
only the Halloween parts of that movie. They don't go to the
if
Christmas
you have a
stuff.
Halloween level, like when with Astrobot, when you got me Astrobot,
Oh right.
you could have led with saying there's multiple spooky levels in the game. I would have been
I didn't want to
say
spoil
no more.
stuff for
Say
you.
no
You know what I
more.
mean?
Say no more. Halloween's my favorite holiday. Is my
I will say this too. This did never convert me into being a Disney guy at all. I will say this: a good amount of the like more classic Disney movies and stuff, I have never seen them after playing this game when I was 7. That is how like I don't remember
So
what
their
Tarzan
goal,
was at
which
all.
was to like have you,
to replace
explore
Disney
those.
for me. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And yeah,
I'm fine
and just,
with
like,
it at
all the
I
Final
think,
Fantasy stuff in there is super neat and cool, and just the music, the art direction that they go in, and the combat is like people meme about usually people a little bit older than us meme about the franchise the same way that they meme about like Sonic the Hedgehog post the Genesis. Like no one actually liked those. Like let's be real here. If you grew up with any video game, you probably liked that regardless of what its quality is perceived to be from people older than you. I understand that, but these are phenomenal video games, at least the main console ones. And this is, I would put this in a top 10 list on the PS2. I wouldn't put it in the top 5 because I feel like there is 5 really solid good PS2 games that are near perfect, and its sequel is one of them. But it's a good franchise. And it's our S tier for today.
I'm fine putting it S because there's not. I mean, I think I would like a bowl of M&Ms maybe more than Kingdom Hearts right now. But it's fine. I'm not gonna. If anything, I might be snacking on that bowl of M&Ms while you play Kingdom Hearts. Is how I'm looking at this.
Okay.
I'm okay putting it
and
S
you
because I
can
feel
do
like
so
at some
if
point
you like and subscribe to this channel because I'm going through that series and getting all their platinum trophies here.
He is.
So
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm fine putting an S because I think at some point I will get something that I'm like, yes about. So I'm saving it. I'm okay with that though. This list is still weird as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost kind of disappointed because like I wouldn't put anything on this list at S tier, even relative to each other, and so it feels like less of a strong victory. It's like, well, what else would we put at the top? Even, like my own opinions about the video game aside, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Leia, bring us home as you always close this thing out. Here we go. 11. Don't have to scroll very far again.
Stranger Things.
Well, here you go. You're talking about Disney. I just liked it. Beauty and the Beast. 1991. The specifically the animated movie,
right.
Not the live action.
The Emma Watson one where they try to make her more feminist and inadvertently make her less of an empowered woman than a cartoon character, which is a theme of all of the live action Disney stuff is when the princess related ones are like, we got to make them, our women were, our characters, our leads, our heroines were not strong, independent women. And in an effort to make them such, they make them less strong or independent than the cartoon version, which is a very corporate Disney thing. I will say it's based off of an actual French novel.
Yes.
It takes place in France. I actually do kind of like that movie. I haven't seen it since I was in like maybe high school at the latest. So it's not, super relatively recent in my mind. But I think it's one of the better Disney movies. What's her name? Hey, we an episode where we feel like we failed. We put a good TV show called Murder, She Wrote low on the list. The lead there in that TV show is the teapot in this movie. So there's that. And this was actually this movie, I remember correctly, was the reason why Best Animated Movie is a thing at the Oscars because of this movie.
Okay, so it's trendsetter.
It didn't win,
but
it was like, oh, we should have one of these. And it had that 3D CG ballroom scene, which was very novel at the time. Where all the characters and all that were still 2D, but like it was a rotated scene of the ballroom during that pivotal moment. I personally wouldn't put this at A.
I mean, based off everything else in this list,
exactly. Though that's what I'm saying.
I'll say, I mean, I've watched this. Probably, I didn't own this on VHS. Like I said, I had Godzilla shit. That was my shit as a kid. I think my parents bought me some Disney stuff, but like I had Lion King, I think, on VHS. And I watched that sparingly. I was like, no, I'm going to fucking put on Godzilla versus Megalon again. Are you kidding me? Jet Jaguar's in that one.
I got Power Rangers to watch. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I will say I do like the kind of general story of Beauty and the Beast. Shout out to the if you're on movie Twitter or like horror movie Twitter, there's like a kind of a joke. I mean, I don't think some people are joking, but like when Nosferatu came out, where people are like, "Oh, this one's for the monster fuckers," like in a way, like this is for like the kind of freaks. In a way, that's like it is kind of it is freaky. It's like she falls in love more with the beast
because of his
than the
heart.
man.
You
Yeah.
know?
Or maybe
But
she loves, she loves that, she loves the fur, in the claws and something else. Maybe.
It's also kind of funny because, like, he's a French aristocrat.
Yeah.
Before the French Revolution. So you take that story in real life, he's dying. He's getting his head cut off, and she probably will be too, because of her.
That's fair.
It doesn't matter.
I didn't even think about it from that angle.
Because their whole kind of thing in that movie is that like the town are all the townspeople are not well off, but they're all extremely gullible and very quick to displace their anger of their problems onto individuals. Granted, the rich person isn't necessarily a bad person or a bad target. You wanted to parallel that to real day, and and you have the populism angle of someone could whip these people into a bad mob type of the dangers of that stuff. And
it's also kind of like the Frankenstein story in a way, where like the Frankenstein monster specifically, he's just like kind of like a dumb monster who just he's like I didn't ask for this. That's the kind of the story of Frankenstein. I need to see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein when that comes out.
Yeah.
It looks everyone's been talking about, but that's basically the Frankenstein story as well, where like the mob just is like, well, fuck this guy, like this guy's scary looking, and we need to kill him. He's a monstrosity. But yeah, I also was in the Beauty and the Beast musical that we did in high school.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually did like theater, but the issue I had was some of the fucking people who were, most of them were leads, were dicks and either picked on me or other people, and I'm like,
theater kids are actually awful people.
But I love the whole like production of everything. I think that shit's cool, but I honestly like that like experience was kind of did jade me for quite some time. I don't go to plays or musicals, but maybe one day I'd like to do more of that shit. I like my movies because they're in a way just plays and on a film, like way. I like the history of films and how it came from plays. But regardless, I was the birdcage, which was not in the cartoon, I don't think, but
I'm sure there was somewhere.
Yeah, because some people were different objects in the mansion, and I was the birdcage because I was the tallest person, one of the tallest people on stage, and they added another foot to me because I had a big birdcage on my head.
Perfect.
So I liked it, and I got to also play one of the angry townsfolk at one point, and we got to go like down into the crowd a little bit and yell at them, and that was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm okay with A based off everything else in this list. I think it's something like if it was on, I'm not gonna like turn it off necessarily. Like, again, dude, we got 2 Disney things at the top of the list. Yeah, so boring.
We're gonna look like we're Disney adults based off this list.
God damn it!
And here's the thing: Kingdom Hearts, as much as Disney owns copyright to some aspect of it, seemingly the majority, they don't make any decisions about Kingdom Hearts, and I do respect and appreciate that Square Enix, more specifically Tetsuya Nomura, the Final Fantasy VII remake guy currently, has such a like definitive like, no, this is what I want happens. Like what I want with this.
It is an interesting, rare kind of thing to see in like.
There's just a don't touch it. It's his shit. I'm
just saying, like, yeah, how many, especially with Disney even nowadays, like, outside of like maybe like Andor, like it's kind of rare to see Disney like let people do what they want with IPs, and like when they can be like, we can keep rehashing them in a live action sense, or we'll just make another one.
They've pitched to Square animated films many times, be like, we could make like the last one was like one of like the second wave of Disney Plus stuff they were making. Like, we could make one of these, and he said no. No, you're not. And it was literally an elevator pitch. The video game was literally an elevator pitch. It was a Square Soft guy and a Disney guy in an elevator, and said, why don't we do something? That's where that came from. So, which I find
I'll say
very funny.
So we have our S, I think, and maybe A here for sure. We have one swap before we kind of close this thing out, before we forget. We could make this list better. I kind of agree that I think I'm not going to say we won by like big numbers, but I think we've won in a way by default, because like a lot of this is like, in a way though, I'm kind of glad the list isn't such a wide spectrum, because it's something different. We don't have a Nazi at the fucking end of it, or just an evil person at the end of it, or an
we don't have any
at the
evil.
End of it.
Well, so here's my suggestion: if we were to do a swap, let's do a little bit of a justice, and also knock something down a peg. I vote. I would like to call a motion to swap Helen Keller with the Connecticut State Militia.
I was looking at that. I was either looking at Grain and Locke, or Locke and
because I feel
Keller.
like,
so, but
relative to everything, she is a more important person than these objects and whatever. And I also don't want the Connecticut State Militia to be B. It sounds like we're endorsing whatever it is that they do or have done. Personally,
let's do that. That feels right, and I feel like that makes the list it's a little bit more stronger. It's not perfect. I don't think I'll be shocked if we ever get a perfect list on this show. You never know, but this is.
I mean, any list with Kingdom Hearts at the top is perfect in my book. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, but yeah, we have so just going from down to up, from the basement to the attic here. Lane Peterson, the hockey player, former Shark. Falco Lombardi, the Falcon from Star Fox at F. We have hand warmers in World Cup, the mug, not the World Cup, the organization in soccer tournament. At E, we have artists all-time low and Barbra Streisand headlining together, co-headlining for D. And then we have the Connecticut State Militia, Grain, and Tweezers at C. Then we have Locke, or the concept of Locke in a way, Helen Keller at B, Bowl of M&Ms, Beauty and the Beast, the animated 1991, I believe, film at A, and then Kingdom Hearts at S. Wow. This is like, I think the most like kind of more shortened spectrum we've had on this show, but it's different.
Yeah.
And we somehow won. I'm not gonna say we did a legendary run at the end there, but it didn't look good at one moment. At least for me, I wasn't really comfortable with only having C or having B and up for the second half.
Dangerous.
That was scary.
And to me, I feel like it's a win because we didn't get, you know what I mean, like Hitler, or we didn't get really bad people at the end there. We got one of the greatest things humanity's ever done. And the video game that has the stuff in its sequel, Kingdom Hearts and Beauty and the Beast. I tried to flip that in the joke there. I feel like this is a win. I think
especially after that swap, I don't.
We were able to do Helen Keller justice. We learned something today by doing a very, very cursory glance at her Wikipedia page, and says she's done stuff. You know what I mean? But shout
out to Helen Keller, M&M's, Kingdom Hearts, and hand warmers. Thank you for being here today.
Right,
folks. If you liked this show, give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you feel like our list is incorrect, put your list in the comments, whether it's you did it at the end or you followed along with us. Let us know. Love to see your lists.
I would be very curious to see how many deviations a normal person would have, right?
Yeah, I want to do a Tiny Mike interview on random people in New York City or something, asking them all right, I'm gonna give you 14 random things and you to rank them. How would they? I could see maybe people putting Helen Keller at A or S maybe, just because if they don't know what Kingdom Hearts is, or I guess people putting Beauty and the Beast at
everyone
S
would know
because of Disney, but. CT State Militia, I could see being at F, but
M&M's is going to be A or higher every single time, just because it's it's the only food. Well, grain, What? That's an ingredient. No, you're not eating grain. I guess. But
Right.
again, you can count corn
Unless
and
you're a
maybe
cow.
rice.
We don't
but-
know. We don't know.
Hey, moo is the only answer you're gonna get if you tiny mic a cow.
Moo, and moo. I'll agree, sir. Thank you for your time. Folks, that was S-Strengthy Podcast. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.